My name is Kamisha, and I'm the creator of Sista Afya. This is the first of many videos that I'll be posting weekly, some of them bi-weekly, about Sista Afya and just different mental wellness information. I wanted to start the first video talking about mental wellness as an approach to liberation. So Sista Afya intentionally talks about mental wellness and not mental health, even though mental health is within mental wellness, but there's a specific reason why. And so mental wellness, as I began to research and really just to think about my own experience, but also the experience of people that I love who are struggling with mental disorders or just having challenges with their mental wellness. And mental wellness was one of the only approaches that I really found that accounts for the external things that happen that impact our mental well-being. And so mental wellness looks at what's happening in your family, what's happening in your community, what's happening in the larger world, and how all of that impacts your mental well-being. I found the mental health approach to be very limiting. It's very individualistic. As a social worker, I have to intentionally make sure that when I'm working with people who are having challenges with their mental well-being, that I'm accounting for every single external factor that's impacting their mental well-being, because a lot of the approaches of many mental health practitioners or healers is very individualistic. And so I know that my mental well-being is not just like, okay, I have bipolar disorder and I need to just treat this bipolar disorder and this is it. But there are so many external things that impact my bipolar disorder. I remember the first time that I experienced symptoms of bipolar disorder was when I was at a job where there were a lot of racist people, and I was experiencing microaggressions and passive aggressiveness all the time, whether it related to me wearing my hair natural or piling almost impossible workloads on me. And that was the beginning of really me not getting a lot of sleep, me having racing thoughts, me really feeling the mania, but also the depression. And then there were also life events or current events that happened that impacted me, such as when George Zimmerman was on trial for murdering Trayvon Martin. I followed that trial pretty much every day. And I began to have racing thoughts, and I began to be angry, and I began to be irritable. And when George Zimmerman was found not guilty, I became even more angry, more irritable, more racing thoughts, more symptoms of bipolar disorder that ended up being my first hospitalization, when I was moving from one place to the other, trying to figure out where I was going to live, where I was going to be, how much things were going to cost. Even that a very move itself was a stressor, and a week later, after I moved to Chicago, I was in the hospital again for a psychiatric breakdown. So I'm saying all that to say is that external things impact my bipolar disorder even almost more than the disorder itself. And so I think that some of the unique things that I've experienced as a Black woman greatly contribute to my mental well-being. And if I wasn't experiencing these external things, or if there was a way that I could have more control over these external things, my mental well-being would be totally different. And so I believe that liberation for me means for me to be mentally well. The way that I move, the way that I shake in the world when I'm feeling at my best mentally is totally different than when I'm feeling stressed by the outside world. And I think that with mental wellness, it looks at not just the individual things that are unique to me as having a mental disorder, but it accounts for all those external stressors, and it seeks to stop the external stressors or to minimize those external stressors. And so I think that's really important when talking about liberation and the movement for Black lives. I know that there's a little bit of a focus on mental wellness, but there isn't a large focus on it. But I think it's very important because just even regarding the history of our people, there were things put in place to intentionally keep us in mental slavery. I remember the quote from Bob Marley in Redemption song, "Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Nobody but ourselves can free our minds." And I think about how powerful that is once we're able to free our minds, not from just the external things, but to be able to heal from the internal things that are happening. How much better will we be as a people? How much better will I be as a Black woman? How much more can I uplift myself but encourage others? How much better can I contribute to my family or to my community when I'm feeling mentally well? And I think that's so important. Even when we talk about self-care, like self-care shouldn't just be go getting your nails done. It should be like attacking the thing that is the reason why you got to get your nails done. Do you need to get your nails done and get your hair done because you're feeling stressed from work? Why not attack that stressor at work so that you don't have to do things so often to take care of yourself? We should be taking care of ourselves while confronting the things that are stressing us out. And so mental wellness is the approach that we're using for Sista Afya to give a holistic view of not just the individual mental disorder or the individual mental wellness challenge that Black women are experiencing, but also talking about the external things that are happening and how we can connect to resources and how we can take advantage of different things that can help to reduce those external stresses and how we can support one another in the process. So I'll be putting some links below to share a little bit more about mental wellness as an approach. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to email me at info@sistaafya.com. I hope that this video shared insightful perspective to you, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day.